Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and in this video I'm doing my 2022 wrap-up. So I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in 2022 and my booktubing for 2022. And for the books, I decided to kind of do a Spotify Wrapped style review, a Bookify Wrapped, if you will. So jumping right into that section, to start off, I explored 10 different genres in my reading this year. And my top 5 were fantasy, contemporary YA, dystopian, romance, and nonfiction. Which fantasy and contemporary YA being my top 2 is not a surprise at all, but nonfiction being in my top 5 was a surprise. I did kind of set as a goal last year that I wanted to read a little more nonfiction. Last year I looked at my story graph for my year wrap-up, and I think nonfiction was maybe like 10% of my reading. And I said last year in my video last year that I would like it to be more like 15%, maybe even 20%. And I think according to Storygraph, I ended off the year at either 14 or 15%. So still not like a ton of nonfiction, but enough to make it in my top 5. Next, I looked at my Storygraph moods in order to get my Bookify moods. Spotify kind of did like a mood section in their Wrapped this year. So I seized the day and the reading with emotional, adventurous, and dark books. Next, in 2022, my total page count was 17,198. You can also see my minute count of listening to Spotify there in the background. Last year I had set my goal at 15,000 and I ended up hitting 17,000, and once again this year I am at 17,000. It would be kind of nice if I could hit 20,000 just because that's a nice round number, but I have a feeling that I will always kind of hover right around 17,000. My reading habits don't tend to change that much, and I tend to read about the same amount every day, every year, etc. Next, moving on to talking about what my book goal was for this year. And this graphic actually turns out to be a little bit out of date. It says that I read 44 books with a goal of 45, and that is not true. I made this graphic at the beginning of December. I really thought I would only have read 44 books this year, but I ended up finishing one quite a bit faster than I thought I would, and so I did actually reach my goal and hit exactly 45 books for the year. This is my book goal every year. It will be my goal next year as well. To me, it feels like a really nice goal. I'm not the type that's gonna read a book a week no matter what. Sometimes I'm reading larger books that take more than a week. There are times when I go out of town and I'm maybe just not reading as much at all. And so this gives me that little wiggle room. It's a goal that I usually can reach, but sometimes I do have to stretch a little bit for, like this year. So this is a goal that I like. Next, I read 28 authors this year, but there was one that ruled my world, and that was Neil Shusterman. He was the only author that I read multiple books from that were not part of a series, which is why I picked him as like my top author of the year. I read the Scythe series by him, but then I also read Dry. Next, I have the one book that for me was Love at First Read, my favorite book of the year, the only 5-star read of the year for me, including both rereads and new reads. I didn't reread any books that had previously been 5 stars for me. This was, however, a new read, which makes it even more exciting, and that was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I loved this one so much. It was so fast-paced and adventurous and fun. We all know I like adventurous books based on my reading moods. I love the characters. Imbot is my favorite character of the year. So yes, my one and only 5-star read of the year, Skyward. And then finally, for my reading wrap-up portion of this video, I have my top 5 books of the year. Of course, I already talked about number 1, that is Skyward. But next we have Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, my top author of the year. And then we have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I read both of the Nikolai duology this year, and I really enjoyed King of Scars. I enjoyed them both, but that one was the winner. At number 4, I put Sadie by Courtney Summers. I don't usually care much for thrillers, so this one was a very pleasant surprise. It was 4 stars for me. It was very fast-paced once again, and it was a really satisfying thriller. And then finally, at number 5, we have Neil Shusterman once again with Dry. So moving on to talking about my booktubing for the year, and also a little bit about my plans for next year. But starting with 2022, we have my snapshot. I had a total of 2,694 views, 8,182 minutes watched, 236 likes, 17 new subscribers, and August was my month with the most views, which I have a suspicion on why that was my top viewed month, which I will get into. But first, I just want to thank everyone for watching and liking and subscribing. But moving on to my top videos of the year. I had one video completely randomly blow up for me, and I have no idea why, really. And that was my tier ranking of maps in books, which I suspect I probably posted in August, and that is why August is my top viewed month for the year. Last year, my top viewed month was January. But yeah, tier ranking maps in books got like 550 views within like 2 or 3 days, which for me is a lot. My videos typically get about 40 views, with the exception of like unboxings. So yeah, I don't know why this one took off so much. I think maybe not a lot of people have done this video, but like Daniel Green, for example, who's a huge booktuber, also has a video like this out. But yeah, it was a very exciting surprise. My second most watched video was a much needed book unhaul. Unhauls tend to do pretty well. And then my third favorite was my favorite Peter Pan quotes, which is an old video. I don't think I posted it this year. I think I posted it last year. And also I don't think, like I don't do quotes videos anymore, but when I was doing them, I don't think they were particularly popular on my channel. So overall, all of these top 3 videos are a surprise. The tier ranking being the number 1 is not a surprise because I knew that it blew up, but it blowing up was a surprise. And then number 2 and 3 are also big surprises. I would have expected my unboxings to still be my top videos. But I had a lot of fun on BookTube this year. I was engaged this year, so I did a lot of wedding videos, and by a lot I mean 8. But a few of them were brand new tag videos that I invented. I did the wedding photo book tag, the engagement photo book tag, the old new borrowed blue book tag, and then of course I also did like wedding hauls and some do-it-yourself wedding decor videos. So doing all of those were really fun. It was really fun to have an excuse to talk more and think more about my wedding. I'm still debating of maybe doing like a wedding wrap-up at some point where I talk about like the things that I'm really glad I did and the things that I wish I'd done differently and how much things cost and stuff like that. But I feel like that video would take a long time to plan and do, so I don't know. Of course, I also kept some of my yearly series alive, like my Harry Potter videos. And yeah, generally had a lot of fun with the booktubing. I did slow down on my rate of posting this year. My first 2 years, I always did 1 video per week, but a lot of times I would do an extra video, whether it be like for holidays or whatever. Whereas this year, I really did pretty much completely stick to only 1 video a week. I think partly because I was busy with the wedding, but also partly I've been doing this for a while now and just am naturally slowing down a bit. So with that being said, this year I'm planning to try out just posting 3 videos a month, taking a week off every month. I will still always post my monthly wrap-ups, but I think the week before my monthly wrap-ups, the 3rd week of the month, I will take a week off. Which I haven't decided for sure yet, but that might discontinue some of my yearly series, such as the Harry Potter videos, because that's 4 videos all by themselves, plus a monthly wrap-up. So I haven't decided for sure yet, but that might be what's happening. So this will be starting in January. So in this month, I will have posted this video, my yearly wrap-up. I will post my monthly wrap-up, and then I might post that wedding video, or it might just be an easy short video like a tag or something. We shall see. But anyways, yeah, that was it for my 2022 reading / booktubing wrap-up. Again, thanks for watching, subscribing, liking. I hope you enjoyed watching. Remember, words matter.